Hey Helldivers, in this video I'll be talking about the wormhole in Helldivers 2 that's moved once again. Sony's confirmed plans for an exciting, realistic future they're working on, and some fresh stats dropped by the developers. If you find this video helpful at any point, please consider hitting the like button, subscribing, and turning on notifications to stay in the loop with all the latest updates. Let's kick things off with the wormhole and its movement. Before we dive in, the recent Ministry of Truth news update confirmed that what we thought was a black hole is actually a wormhole used by the Illuminate to travel to us. That's why I'll be calling it a wormhole from now on. With that in mind, I took a screenshot yesterday and compared it to one from today. In this clip, you'll notice the wormhole has shifted quite a bit recently. Not a lot, but definitely noticeably. It's nudged itself closer to Moridash. I suspect Moridash is next in line and might be facing obliteration soon, just like how Angel's Venture was blown apart a few weeks ago. Now, unfortunately, the reason the wormhole has moved so much is that we're currently failing to repel the Illuminate's invasions. Somehow, the Illuminates are pushing the wormhole closer to Super Earth by harnessing dark energy. How are they gathering it? It's likely they're using the monoliths to collect and channel it, shifting the wormhole's position. That seems like the most plausible explanation. Still, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop your ideas in the comments below. What do you think is happening? And will the wormhole reach Super Earth? If you were to ask me, personally, I don't think it will. I believe we'll eventually slow its advance enough that the Illuminates will abandon their current strategy and unleash their full force against us instead. When that happens, they'll make a direct push for Super Earth, and we'll have to fight them off. But what if they manage to push the wormhole far enough to destroy several planets, including Super Earth? In that case, the Galactic War would likely reset, just like it did in Helldivers 1. That'd be an intriguing twist. It would be our first Galactic War reset in Helldivers 2, right? Anyway, speaking of the Galactic War, we're currently winning back Claurel, and we'll soon regain full control of the Deep Forge complex. This also means we're on track to complete the Major Order before it ends tomorrow, which is great news. On the other hand, as I mentioned earlier, we're failing to stop the Illuminate's invasion. It's frustrating because we could have tackled both options on the Major Order without sacrificing one for the other. I covered this in a previous video. We had the chance to gambit on Sojoth, which had low resistance at the time, while Claurel was facing level 37 invasions. Unfortunately, communication was off, and a large portion of the Helldivers opt for Claurel instead. What I believe Helldivers 2 desperately needs is a clear explanation for both new players and veterans, something to break down what a gambit is and how to execute it successfully. Right now, it feels like only a small group grasp the strategy, while most of the player base is completely in the dark. To clarify, when I say veterans, I'm not referring to you Helldiver 1 divers. You obviously know all about gambits. I'm talking specifically about new players and those who've been playing Helldivers 2 since launch. Moving forward, let's dive into a recent post from the Helldivers 2 social media account. Here's what they shared. They wrote, "How do you like those numbers, Helldivers? Through the Galactic War, you've been crushing tyranny and spreading managed democracy with unrelenting firepower. Your dedication to the cause is nothing short of legendary. Keep exterminating threats, keep the bullets flying, and let's give them hell." So the numbers in this image are striking, and there's a lot here I'd like to break down and discuss. At the top, the squids have claimed responsibility for 87 million Helldiver deaths, a staggering figure we can't simply ignore. In retaliation, we should aim to take down twice as many squids and cook them. I'm talking about a massive calamari buffet. The next stat isn't too surprising. The automatons have relentlessly killed 1.2 billion Helldivers. I have a feeling most of those deaths came from Malevelon Creek. As you Helldivers know, it was a fierce battle that claimed many Helldivers' lives. Lastly, faction-wise, the Terminates have sunk their filthy claws into the Helldivers, tearing apart 1.5 billion of them and claiming their lives. These death tolls have certainly motivated me to try my damnedest to exterminate the bugs, reduce the bots to scrap metal, and cook as many squids as possible. Putting those numbers aside, we can see that us Helldivers have deployed 3.7 billion eagles. That's a lot of eagles. I wonder if the Democracy Space Station's Eagle Storm was included in that count. Right below that, it's clear there's a lot of friendly fire going on. I'm talking about 38.5 million deaths due to friendly fire. The cost of democracy isn't cheap, and sometimes you end up paying with your life, whether that's getting squashed by a helipod or being obliterated by a 500 kg bomb. On that note, what's one of the most hilarious or surprising friendly fire deaths you've experienced in the game, whether it was by you or a teammate? Let me know by posting your response below. Since I mentioned the 500 kg bomb stratagem earlier, grab your Geiger counter because the developers have confirmed that 1 billion 500 kg bombs have been dropped since launch. That's a lot of nukes. Overall, here's the full image with all the numbers. We can see there have been over 280 billion total kills altogether. What I'd like to see next are stats based on how many Helldivers chose specific stratagems or weapons and how many kills we Helldivers achieved using those weapons and stratagems. Anywho, what are your thoughts about the stats? Let's talk about it. Moving on to the next topic, we have exciting news from Sony. They're developing a new realistic technology concept that will allow players to essentially step inside the game, offering an incredibly immersive experience. In this video post from Sony, you can see they're creating something called Beyond the Screen, which features a massive, nearly square screen set design to provide a realistic feeling. So far, the previews they've showed are about The Last of Us. I'd personally love to see what Helldivers 2 would look like in this immersive environment. For more details about the concept, Sony stated the following on their official website. They wrote, Mimic controller, get hands-on with the location-based entertainment. Mimic is a unique prototype R&D controller designed to experience the sense of weight and inertia for unparalleled immersion and storytelling. 360 reality audio. Hear it all around you. Each sound, whether it's vocals, instruments, sound effects, or voices, can be placed in a 360 spherical sound field. Grid sense, smell the world, feel the story. Sony's Tensor Valve, a proprietary ordering control technology, delivers localized smells to enhance immersion. Crystal LED, a window to a new world. Crystal LED brings extraordinary brightness, colors, and contrast, with details that appear richer and more realistic than ever before. You can actually smell what the zombies and the overall environment smell like. I mentioned this in a previous video, but at the time, we didn't know the exact details. Now we have all the specifics, like Gridsen, a technology that delivers smell to the game. Nonetheless, would you try this out if you could? I know I certainly would, especially if I could spread democracy in Helldivers 2 through this expansive, immersive experience. Alrighty, next we have an announcement from BAFTA, which is British Academy of Film and Television Arts. They posted this, and it says, congratulations to all the nominees for the BAFTA Game Awards. The reason I'm showing you this is because Helldivers 2 has received 5 nominees. We're going to check it out right here and see which ones they received it for. If we go down below, we can see that there's several ones like Animation, Artistic Achievement, Audio Achievement. Helldivers received 1 there. Then for Best Game, there's another one here. And if we continue going downwards, we can see Game Design is also 1, and Multiplayer, and we also have Music. So those are the only nominees, and I have a feeling they're going to win some. I mean, they've won 25 awards already in the past few months. So it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see which ones they win this time. So with that being said, if you guys would like to check this link out, I'll provide a link down below underneath the sources in the description, and you can click on it, check out the website, and do all that good stuff, right? So it's definitely there if you Helldivers want it. What I'd like to bring up next is a mod that I've created called the Super Destroyer Decoration mod. It's a work in progress, but you can see right here I've made several changes. The cryopod now has this toxic gas theme to the actual pods, so it looks really nice. You got the terminals that are green. We've got the stratagem hero that's been changed. And if you go over here, our lady right here has green toxic pants or some sort of chemical pants, right? The banner has been changed so it looks more unique and different. And if we go over here and check out the monitor, we can see that we now have the logo, the stratagems, and you can obviously see the stats and everything there. That makes it look way cooler in my opinion. And what else? What else did I change? If we go over here down below, we can see that this bottom here has been changed, and we now have a logo, says Liberty, and all that good stuff. I might change that to you know, say maybe Chemical War Bond, or actually I should say Chemical Agents War Bond, but that's what I'm thinking. I've changed a lot of things up right now, and I'm currently planning to change more, so download it, check it out if you want to. On a different note, I ask you guys, what would you like to see? If it's one feature, what would you like to see in Helldivers 2? We have a Helldiver here that says more mechs, and I absolutely agree. We need to see more mechs. You mentioned a mech with a jackhammer style piercing melee weapon. That would be phenomenal. And you also mentioned something about a double quasar. Incredible stuff. We also have another response here that said more debuffs. Right, we don't have enough debuffs. I'm not too sure if anyone wants to see that. Maybe, you know, give it to the higher difficulties, right? So that it makes sense to some degree. Lastly, we have another comment here that talks about end mission stats. You know, breakdowns about light, medium, heavy, damage dealt, highest kill streaks, fabs, bug hole, warp ships, all that good stuff, right? That is another great feature I would love to see, just to kind of give me more details about what happened at the end of the mission. If you Helldivers would like to provide some more answers to this, let me know in the comments. What is one feature you would like to see? Let's talk about it. Last but not least, we have the top 3 comments. If you guys want to be featured on the channel, all you have to do is comment down below. The first comment here comes from Phantom Buttons 7206. The fact people still have trouble understanding the supply line gimmick is absolutely mind-boggling. To some degree, yeah, I agree. I think it is, but at the same time, there's no explanation of it. The second top comment comes from Mr. Thinks 0K or OK. You wrote, Discord mods once again proving that a small amount of power goes straight to people's heads. Perhaps so. I don't know if it's the moderator's decision or the community's manager's decision on the whole, you know, data mine removal links and all that. I couldn't tell you. But I know certainly if you give someone power, it definitely goes to their head, right? That's just human nature, I feel. Not everybody, but most people. Last but not least, we have Gambit_SFM. If there's an in-game encyclopedia, they should take notes from Deep Rock Galactic's own Miner's Manual that has a detailed overview and a breakdown of enemy weakness, strengths, immunities, etc., along with some little lore and how many you've killed total. Love it. I absolutely love that idea. And who knows, if Deep Rock Galactic's the next crossover, that would be great to see. You know, have them collaborate and create something really cool for us to, you know, observe in-game on the terminals. There you go, Helldivers. Those are the top 3 comments. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you want, join the Discord down below. It's in the description. You can join, we can play, we can talk about games. We can even play a few rounds on Helldivers 2. I definitely do it with the moderator, Jen, and even Ninja Strike when we can. But yeah, hope you guys join up, talk about it. If you want to, feel free to subscribe, turn on notifications, and give this video a like. I appreciate all the support from you guys, whether you are subscribed or not, or hell, even if you're a member. I appreciate so much, guys. So thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.